I guess it was like 2 weeks ago now that I got an invite from Ron Smith to come up and play for the weekend. It was supposed to just be a fun thing. We were playing with some friends. I know Ron and I had played a couple times online before, which I had streamed, and it felt like our styles were clashing a little bit, or a lot of bit, or it was just completely incompatible to me. And I think that became exemplified a little bit over the weekend at the tournament. So one big thing that I noticed personally is that I'm relatively rigid in the styles that I understand how to play well. And when taken outside of one of those styles, like for example, I'm very good if I can just open a bunch of 9 and 10 counts. And I can, raise on nothing and play 14 to 16 no trumps, and I can double the opponents for penalty on every auction. And if I play with a partner who, also plays that type of style, I've had a lot of experience with it. I've found that my decision making is very good in those types of auctions, and I also just kind of understand how to game the system and, end up playing 2 spades down 3, non-vulnerable when the opponents are cold for a game. So that's great and all, but Ron doesn't play this style. He plays something completely different. He likes to have a lot of structure to the system with every auction. He likes almost every bid to be defined. I'm really not a system person, so I just kind of wing it most of the time when I get into auctions, competitive auctions, and that sort of stuff. And that's not what he likes to do. And also, he plays basically every doubles takeout, so he never goes for penalties against the opponents, which made it a little bit difficult for me to evaluate a lot of auctions, because there are so many times where I just wanted to double the opponents for penalty, but we weren't allowed to do that. And so I felt like I was on completely new ground. I'd never seen these types of problems before in bridge, and I did a pretty bad job of figuring out the right solutions to them. So yeah, one of the things that I learned from me specifically is a little bit of incompatibility with playing different styles or different types of systems, which is a little bit unfortunate. Secondly, as I will bring up as we get through the hands, Ron is a terrible partner to play with at the table. He just yelled and complained about every single thing that went wrong, whether or not it was my fault or his fault or the opponent's fault or something. And there was constantly a running commentary, which I don't remember if this happened in the past. I did play a regional with him 10 years ago, so I'm not entirely sure, but it was very unpleasant to sit at the table, and it definitely got to me at some points where I was making worse decisions because now I'm second guessing myself, and partner's going to yell at me no matter what I do. So I don't know, maybe my mental game was a little bit off as well, but we did okay overall. We ended up finishing 5th in the Friday Swiss. The teams were all very bunched up at the top, and it was very close, but we kind of drew the short end of the stick there. Saturday we ended up 2nd in the Swiss, and then Sunday on the final day we won the Swiss overall. We played up against, there was one other good team at the event, the Millens team, with Kevin Dwyer, his wife Cecilia Rimstedt, Shan Wong, and another pro player that I wasn't familiar with, as well as their sponsor. We ended up playing up against them on both Saturday and Sunday. We lost to them both times, but did manage to get the overall VP score. Hey Richard, it's tough playing with a partner who gets on your case all the time, and it was definitely draining And especially given that I was playing a new type of style to me, and I wasn't doing a very good job handling it, it just made it so much worse. But there are a lot of like cool and interesting problems, so that's what we're going to get into and present. So let's take a look. I don't think I'm going to like try and like cover up hands, so I'm just gonna, you all can see the hands from the start and we'll talk through them. There were a couple of fun ones. So here we go. So first hand. I love this one. This was like very early on. I think this was the first match that we ended up playing. So I'm gonna be south in all of these deals. It came pass, and east opened a spade. And I'm sitting here south, everyone vulnerable. And I had this, 7 count. But at imps, most of the time you just kind of like try and construct hands and see if game might have some play opposite a bunch of reasonable hands that your partner can hold. And a lot of the times, if partner has 4 hearts to an honor, either the ace or king, 4 hearts might have some pretty good play. Club finesse is likely to be on side through the opening bidder, and if we can guess the hearts for one loser, then, we might just lose 2 spades and a trump. And that would require partner to have, what, like a 4 count or a 3 count? Ace, 4th of hearts and out? So 2 spades feels somewhat automatic to me, but it's obviously very risky and can go very poorly in situations like this. Like, our trumps are very bad. Our heart suit specifically is very bad. We have length in the opponent's spade suit. So, like, we could easily be going for 800. I think, on average, we'll probably end up in, like, 3 hearts undoubled down 1 or something like that. But it feels like there's about as much chance of us going for 800 as there is for us to bid and make a game. So I bid 2 spades. I thought it was a close decision, but feels pretty reasonable to me. On this hand, it should have worked out very poorly. West started with a double. And I've been told, now maybe people can correct me on this, but I was told by Ron, as well as like a bunch of other people, that nowadays these doubles are not penalty. These are just negative doubles, which feels really weird to me and is another situation I didn't really understand all that well. So West, clearly does have a negative double. They're 5-4 in the minors. But then how do you get people for penalty in an auction like this? Is he supposed to double 3 hearts? Maybe, yes, I don't know. Ron bid 3 hearts and it went all pass. And then I guess another asterisk on here. So while I have a lot of the auctions, or I'm pretty sure I have the auctions right, a lot of the play I wasn't completely convinced about, and also I was reconstructing hands from memory, and especially when I was dummy. So I'm not certain that I have all of the cards right. I know I have generally the hands correct, but this is how the play went, for anyone who's curious. So East led a club after not doubling 3 hearts. Partner won the ace, led the queen of clubs, it got covered. He ruffed. He then ruffed a diamond and led the 10 of clubs. And this also got covered. So he ruffed again, East over-ruffed. And now East was kind of panicked. Of course, they could just like play back the king of diamonds, force dummy. They could try and pull trumps or something if they're worried that Ron has extra trumps in his hand. They switched ace of spades and a spade. So he won the 9. He led the 9 of clubs now. And East, once again, decided they had nothing better to do than to ruff. And, I think he still might have ended up going down a couple of tricks if East had, for example, played back the king of diamonds here. But East, terrified of returning a diamond into dummy's void, because I think this is what a lot of, beginner players are scared of, they just don't lead into the void because dummy can ruff, decided to play ace of hearts and a heart. And now dummy was good. So we escaped for down 1, undoubled, in 3 hearts. Not the most normal result on the board. I mean, if you take a look at double dummy, a trump lead, which most people would say is kind of automatic against these 2 suited hands, would defeat the contract 5 tricks. That would have been a nightmare if we got doubled in 3 hearts and went down 5. But a lot of other defense, like even the opening club lead, should have led to down 4, or even worse. But escaping for minus 100 was a good start. So I got a massive lecture after the hand about how I should never bid Michaels with this hand, and I am certain that after hearing a lot of the other lectures I got over the week, like, Ron just likes to result about every single board. So yes, 2 spades works terribly when partners 4-2-6-1 shape opposite our hand, but it probably works out a lot better if we have a heart fit. Second board of the set, or not second board of the set, but second board from the Swiss that I wanted to pull up and take a look at. I thought this was somewhat interesting, and it was very much worth noting an interesting point on defense. But so this was my hand. I'm south. I passed by west. Partner opened a diamond in 3rd seat. Which tournament is this? St. Louis Regional that I played last weekend. So partner opened a diamond, take out double by east. I bid 2 diamonds. 3 diamonds for us is weak, so we didn't have a mixed raise available. Otherwise, I might have done that or preferred that. West decided to make a responsive double, which I really hate. I mean, I think I would bid 2 hearts, but I could also understand passing as West. That the hand's a little bit light for a 2-heart bid in terms of just values. I mean, a scattered 6 count, but the 5th trump is nice. Decent heart suit is nice. But yeah, the negative double clearly got them into a lot of, or the responsive double clearly got them into a lot of trouble when Ron made a really nice 3 diamond preempt here. East had 4 spades, so they bid 3 spades. This one I'll pass. And I led a diamond at trick 1. Partner won the ace. And, okay, I have no idea how the play actually went for this to happen, but one way that I found for the play to get to the position that I recall from the table is that partner switched to a heart. So I don't think partner actually switched to a heart, but I do know he didn't lead back a diamond, and he didn't switch to clubs. So I don't think he played a spade from king and 1, but I honestly could not tell you what happened. Anyway, so the heart switch, Declare won the ace, played ace of spades, and then took a spade finesse. Partner now won, and now he continued diamonds, and we're in this position. And so I know that once the queen of spades is gone, I'm going to have the master trump. I know that East has bid a 4-card suit, and I also know that we have a lot of diamonds that we can probably run if I can either pull trumps or if I can, you know, force out the opponent's trumps and then start playing a bunch of diamonds. So I decided to continue a diamond here. From a double dummy standpoint, this is incorrect because we could technically cut off the hearts if I play back a low spade. But that's kind of a really difficult play to find. I have no idea what's going on in the heart suit. Declare could easily have ace queen third, and then I play a spade and Declare just I'm not sure, but maybe they would be able to just like start running hearts or something against me. Either way, I just played back a low diamond into the double void, kind of noting that if declare takes the ruff in hand, now I have more trumps than them. If declare ruffs and dummy, now my jack of spades is high. I'll be able to get in with a ruff and, play more diamonds at them. So declare did take the ruff and dummy. Tried running the jack of clubs. I won. I continued another diamond, forcing them. And after ace of clubs, heart to the king, heart ruffed and over ruffed, I was able to claim the last two. So we beat the contract 3 tricks. I mean, this wasn't that important at imps. Plus 150 instead of plus 50 or plus 100 or whatever, or even plus 200 would not have been a huge deal, especially given that we didn't double them. But it's still kind of a nice concept on defense that if you're, threatening to take control and trumps, leading into a double void is pretty effective defense. So, cute hand. Third hand I wanted to pull up from the Swiss on Friday was this one. Mostly because we got into another long debate about these hand types. I actually don't remember how many of these I put in, but this was the first of many where Ron said 2 no trump. He intended as a 4-card limit raise in my major. So East opened a diamond, I bid a spade. 2 diamonds on my left. Partner bid 2 no. Undiscussed. East bid 5 diamonds. Pass, partner reopened double. Thinking that maybe 4 spades was making, so he felt obligated to collect a penalty, and he was kind of right. I mean, in fact, 5 spades makes, given that the king of hearts and the queen of clubs are both on side, and we have the proper spot cards to pick them up. But it's kind of hard to get there. So we got to 5 diamonds doubled. I led the ace of spades. And probably should have switched to a heart here, but I just continued a spade. Again, I'm not convinced that I have the full layout of the cards correct, but I'm pretty sure it was something like this. So at this point, declare ruffed, was able to pull 2 rounds of trumps, and able to go ace of clubs, club, ducked around to partner's 10. Ron switched to a low heart, and this was declare's last chance. They could have guessed to hop up with the king of hearts, cross and diamonds, and pitch a heart loser on the club queen. Or sorry, cross and diamonds, rough down the king of clubs, cross and diamonds again, and then pitch a heart loser on the club queen. But instead, they just took the simple line by playing low. So we got our 2 heart tricks. Beat it 2 tricks. At the other table, our teammates let them play 4 spades, so we lost a chunk of imps. But apparently, there's this style that Ron likes to play, which is that basically 2 no trump is always a 4-card limit raise of the major in every auction, whether it's an opening bid, an overcall, no matter how much competition there is, just always 4-card limit or better. Which is interesting. I mean, I think that's probably correct. I would not be playing this undiscussed, but that was the first instance that it came up. Oh yes, here we go. Here's definitely my biggest blunder of the tournament. So Weston first seat with their nice little 11 count here, 2 aces and a good 6-card spade suit opens 2 spades. Ron overcalls 3 diamonds. East bids 3 spades. And it goes pass, partner reopens with double. And I had a decision to make. Now, at match points, I think it's automatic to pass the double here. At teams, I think passing the double is probably bad. Not because something like this could happen. I think this layout is extremely unlikely, where East is borderline able to bid 4 spades themselves, and West just has an opening 1 spade bid. And partner's offense to defense ratio is off the charts. But I think if we do beat it, we only beat it 1. But more importantly, it's as long as partner has a singleton spade, it's looking increasingly more likely that we could be making 5 clubs. So I think either 4 or 5 clubs over partner's reopening double is probably the right bid on my hand. Angling for plus 400 when at most on defense we're going to score plus 200. And sometimes we just go minus 730 like this. So that was unfortunately poor for our side. This was the first of our many discussions about how takeout doubles are for takeout, because Ron felt like he could just reopen with double on this hand, which I understand where he's coming from. He wants to find a heart fit, right? There's, of course, another way to try and find a heart fit, which is to balance 4 hearts. But, I think his hope was like, he can reopen double, and the worst that I'm going to do to him is bid 4 clubs. Now, in reality, 5 clubs looks like a pretty attractive bid on this hand. Imagine if partner is like 1, 3, 5, 4 in shape, then 5 clubs could easily be making. 6 clubs could easily be making. But anyway, so I think this is just like a huge stylistic difference between my expectations with Ron's hand and his, which is that, like, for him, this double never gets passed ever, and therefore, like, he can always reopen double on any sort of shape that he wants, planning on just correcting clubs to diamonds later to show his hand type. Whereas for me, I would probably either balance 4 diamonds or balance 4 hearts with the north hand, depending on how aggressive I wanted to be. I think I like balancing 4 hearts, actually. If partner has as little as the diamond ace, then we might be on a hook through the preemptor for a diamond game. And obviously, if partner has a heart fit, then 4 hearts is going to work out fine. But anyway, minus 730. Big mistake by me, but probably the biggest of the weekend. What was this hand? Oh yeah, this was kind of like a cute, nice technical hand, a little bit, that I ended up playing. So I think this is the last board from the Friday Swiss, that I wanted to look through. So 3 passes around to me, I open a no trump in 4th seat. We're playing 14 to 16 at this vulnerability. West was silent throughout with their 11. Partner bid Stamen, I bid 2 hearts, partner decided to raise to 3 hearts. I passed. Ace King is probably like above average, but in terms of just like, and I do have a 15 count, right? And we're playing 14 to 16 here. But partner wasn't able to open. And I didn't like the Jack of Hearts. I thought that it probably wasn't a great card. It was okay, but I would rather have, like a queen or something, or I would rather have ace, king, ace, ace, or something like that. And overall, the hand has no spot cards. I have a couple of 8s, but what have 8s ever done for us? So anyway, I decided to pass. We're non-vulnerable as well. West led the Jack of Clubs, which I think is a pretty poor lead. I'm pretty sure our trump lead is by far the most attractive from the West hand. Jack from Jack Doubleton can easily blow trick. Queen from Queen 4th often won't, because declarer will expect your partner to have the queen. So if they have a 2-way guess, they're going to guess incorrectly on the 2nd round of the suit, and your queen will still hold up for a defensive trick. But anyway, so Jack of Clubs opening lead. I wanted to start playing trumps from dummy. I have a diamond loser. I have potentially 2 spade losers and potentially 2 trump losers, depending on the layout of the cards. I only really have 2 dummy entries, which I'm kind of going to need to start tackling the trump suit. So I took one I took the opening lead with the club queen. Obviously, this could go badly. West might be leading from jack 10 fourth, but, you know, you kind of have to make do with what you can. So, queen of clubs holds. I let a low heart. East pops up with the king, which to me looked like a honest card. So I won the ace, and now I went about setting up diamonds to pitch a spade. Because if I needed to pull 4 rounds of trumps, then I can't ruff a spade in the north hand anymore. So I let a diamond. The opponents did well to duck. I think at this point we had come into, you know, playing against some of the better teams, so they were giving count signals and stuff. 2 rounds of diamonds, West won. And West now continued a low heart. Which is interesting defense, and this, because if West had gone queen of hearts heart, then I would kind of be in control, since I would have a bunch of high trumps left and would be able to kind of navigate where I took the tricks. If West had gone, you know, instead continued a diamond, I would then be able to immediately pitch my spade loser, work on pulling trumps, and eventually, if I needed to, take a finesse against the 10 of clubs. The low heart caused a little bit of trouble, because while the 7 was going to win in dummy, I realized I kind of wanted a later entry to dummy. Like, I could definitely win this, cash the diamond king, pitching a spade, and then try and figure out what to do. But I decided I wanted to overtake to, you know, eventually play hearts towards the 10-9, and maybe I would be able to take a spade finesse later in the play. East pitched a club. This, to me, kind of gave away the rest of the position in the club suit. East would definitely not have pitched from 10-3 remaining, so the clubs either were jack doubleton opposite 10-3 originally, or jack 10-3 opposite small doubleton. So I next cashed the ace of clubs to strip all the clubs, played back a heart, and at this point, with West winning the heart queen, they can't beat me, but it's imps, so West kind of just hoped that their partner had, like, the king of spades over there, and they switched ace of spades and a spade, which allowed me to win the king, pull the last trump, and then use the king of diamonds to pitch my spade loser for 10 tricks. So, no danger whatsoever. None at all. But that was the first day. So we ended up 5th in our, well, whatever the Swiss was. I mean, it was basically with all of the teams in the tournament. The tournament was, like, a little bit small. It was one tiny ballroom in a hotel, and there were probably 30 or so teams that played, would be my guess, in that Swiss. Saturday, we ended up in a bracketed Swiss, which means, like, they took you and then bracketed you based on master points, and then you played a round robin inside your section against every other team. So this was one of the first hands that we played. I was south again. So I opened a spade. Partner decided to bid a no trump. Now he has a 12 count, and this was a little bit weird to me, because previously when we had played, and having discussed with Ron kind of opening bid styles, we had said that our opening bid styles were fairly sound. Like, to me, the south hand was very borderline for opening in our style. I did it because I was 5-4-4. But if I was 5-4-1-3, I probably wouldn't have opened with Ron, based on what we had discussed, with this 11 high card points. Like, I would love to open this hand, but I think just style-wise, it probably wouldn't have fit very well. So the fact that he tabled this 12 count and didn't game force felt a little bit strange after I saw the full auction. I never really got any closure on this topic over the course of the whole weekend, though. Anyway, I opened a spade, partner bid a no trump. I bid 2 hearts, partner bid 2 no, and I bid 3 clubs. 3 clubs was undiscussed. I don't know if it should be forcing or not. I mean, to me, when partner bids 1 no, 2 no, and I have an 11 count, we can't have a game, right? We haven't found a fit in a major suit. 5 of a minor is so far off. If partner has a hand like this, they probably should be game forcing originally rather than bidding 1 no. So that's why I'm kind of the belief that 3 clubs should be non-forcing. Now, with that said, I mean, what if I had an extra king or something? Am I then supposed to jump to 4 clubs to show that type of hand? Maybe? I guess? I mean, I'm not sure, honestly. Partner has to have a fit somewhere, right? Otherwise it would have gone a spade 3 diamonds to start with. But yeah, I mean, they could be 2, 3, 5, 3, of course. That's possible. Anyway, I bid 3 clubs. Partner decided to bid keycard and clubs, 4 diamonds. I didn't want to show my void because I was still convinced that we had no game. So I wasn't interested in looking for a slam, right? I bid 4 no, showing 2 with no queen, and partner miscounted his keycards and bid 6 clubs. So here we are. We get the ace of diamonds lead. Well, we gotta rough this one, so I do. And I probably spent like a good 3 minutes thinking about what to do at trick 2. And after about 2 minutes, I realized that this wasn't match points. Because, and the fact that we're non-vulnerable makes it a little bit safer to just go all out to try and make the contract. I was worried because, like, the normal thing to do is to play for the queen of clubs to drop, right? Ace of clubs, club to the king, and then if the queen drops, you knock out the spade ace and we just claim 12 tricks. But if clubs are 3-1 and the person with the spade ace has the club queen, we might lose 3 diamonds from there. So we might lose the ace of spades, the queen of clubs, and 3 diamond tricks. Actually, I guess the 9 of diamonds prevents that from happening, but we could lose a lot of tricks. Especially given the ace of diamonds doesn't promise the king against 6 clubs in an auction like this, right? West is just cashing the diamond ace, thinking that I probably have a singleton on this auction. So I was worried about that for a little while, and then eventually I was just like, whatever. If I go down 3 and 6 clubs, it's not a huge deal. It's imps. So eventually I decided, let's just go ace of clubs. So I did. And then he showed out, and then I went into another, like, 2-minute tank. And I feel really bad for the opponents because, like, my first tank was like, well, you know, I'm going to cash the club ace, and then I'm going to play a club to the king, but I could end up going down a bunch of tricks. But now that I know clubs are 4-0, I thought about, is there any way that I can legitimately make this hand? And the answer is no, unless East has the diamond king. So here's how I played the hand. I took a club hook, and now I led the king of spades. East won the ace, and played back a diamond. And East took about 4 minutes to play back a low diamond after winning the spade ace. I mean, sorry, they took about 4 minutes to win the spade ace, and then they thought for another 15 or 20 seconds and continued a low diamond. So the only way to make it from here, because assuming I have to rough this trick, I would then need to trump coup West. Well, how can that be possible? We can count out the number of tricks that need to be taken, right? So let's pretend that West still has the diamond king, and we can kind of play this out in our minds, but I'll display it here. So this gets roughed, right? I still have 2 more diamond losers, which can be taken care of on my spades, but I'm going to need to rough something in the north hand to shorten dummy's trumps so that I can eventually trump coup West, and I'll also need to be able to get back to my hand at trick, 12 to be on lead for the trump coup. So I mean, basically all lines of play will revolve around, like, let's try and cash some spades and pitch some diamonds, right? Let's suppose for now West pitches a diamond on this trick, which doesn't really cost. Now I have to lead a spade, and I have to trump it in the dummy. Because if I don't trump this spade, then dummy never gets shortened. And if I decide to trump a heart instead, I can never get back to the south hand. The ace of hearts is my only entry. So on this trick, when I lead this last spade, West, who still has the diamond king, and who has 2 clubs, will always be able to discard a heart. So West discards a heart. I have to trump this trick. East can pitch whatever. And now to be able to get back to my hand at trick 12, I need to be able to cash 2 hearts. So I can cash the king of hearts, but when I try and cross back to the heart ace, West gets to ruff. So I go down. So, in fact, when this diamond comes back through, there's no way I can make it if I ruff this trick. Now, if East had had the king of diamonds, East would have needed to play back the diamond king here. Otherwise, once again, I could just get back to like the ace of hearts, for example, take a trump finesse, and then pull all the trumps and then run spades to pitch all my diamond losers. But the king of diamonds return would actually give me a slim hope of making it, because then I would only need to pitch 1 fewer diamond on the run of the spades, and the queen of diamonds could get cashed. So it's, I mean, it's a little bit complicated, but I would have a better chance if East had the diamond king, which is why at the table I kind of realized that when West has the diamond king, I actually don't have any chance to make it by roughing this trick, so I decided to discard. West played the king of diamonds, and I just claimed my 11 tricks for down 1. Interesting hand. All 3 other players at the table complained that I had missed an obvious trump kill. Which, like, okay, Ron was complaining the entire weekend, so at this point, given that this was day 2, I was used to it. But, like, I did not see both of my opponents complaining that my line of play was, like, very suboptimal. I mean, this is also, like, the most in my entire life. Like, this 3-day span, I probably got more complaints about my declare play than I have had in total in my entire life. Which is insane to me. I mean, it's definitely the best part of my game is declare play, and like having so many people just tell me that I was wrong about every decision I made it became amusing after a while. So I was kind of laughing at some point, but it's just so funny. Like, how does this happen? Anyway, this is probably one of the main reasons why I quit Bridge a while back. Because people are just terrible humans. Anyway, we go down in 6 clubs on board 1. So then, same exact team, board 2, this comes up. Which was incredible. Okay, this is my hand. I have this random collection of garbage. West opens 3 no trump, showing both minors weak. Okay. What a bid. Humans are terrible people. Hey, PJF. Yeah, you can quote me on that. Now, obviously, we had not discussed anything over 3-0, or this type of preempt. I mean, most people play some sort of unusual over unusual, but, like, again, with Ron, given that, like, all of our doubles are takeout, and that, you know, like, we never double them for penalty, but additionally, over, like, Michael's bids, we've discussed that doubles are negative. I assume that partner's double was, like, takeout of the minors on this hand, which explains the subsequent auction. So it goes 4 clubs by East, and I didn't really know what to do. I was a little bit worried that if I doubled 4 clubs, we wouldn't be on the same page. And so I just decided to bid 4 spades. I'm like, whatever. Like, things aren't going well. Let's just do my thing. I'm going to bid contracts. I'm going to make them. We'll figure it out. Some of your best friends are people? Man, I'm sorry. That's rough. You know, don't you have, like, furry animals that can be some of your best friends? Furry animals are good, other than cats. Cats are the worst, but most furry animals are pretty sweet. So we get to 4 spades. You have a cat. It's unbanned. You can totally type the word. And I'm not baiting you. So West on opening lead led the Queen of Hearts. I played low. East, once again, same guy who thought for a long time on the defense of 6 clubs on the previous board, played low. So I won the king. And I thought for a while, I'm not going to go into like the entire thought process behind the line of play, but I mean, it seemed somewhat straightforward how I wanted to go about playing the hand. I kind of wanted to get 1 heart ruff in the dummy, and I wanted to either take a diamond finesse or like squeeze West in the minors or something along those lines. So I'm not going to like pretend that I had like a fully fleshed out plan for how I was going to get all 10 of my tricks, but I had come up with some lines of play. It looked like it worked most of the time. I was also a little bit uncertain about what was going on in West's hand, given the 3-no bid. Because, I mean, it looks like West just doesn't have anything for their bid, which clearly they don't. So I played back a heart. I was a little bit surprised to see West win the jack. I thought that East probably had ace-jack 5th, which was the reason for the long tank at trick 1. West now switched to a trump. I played low. East won the king. Again, after considerable thought. I played low, and East continued a spade. So I went about my plan. I won the 9 of spades in hand, as West showed out. I ruffed a heart. And now, I mean, at the point in time where East won the king of spades, I probably could have claimed, but I decided not to. I mean, these felt like relatively strong opponents, but both of them weren't able to see the trump coup was not making on the previous deal. So, of course, you know, we can all see where this is going, right? We cash the ace of clubs. We cash the king of clubs. We ruff a club back to hand, and on this trick, East gets squeezed. They can't pitch the heart ace, otherwise my hearts are good. So they have to come down to doubleton diamond. So I ruff. And now when I pull the last 2 trumps, West gets squeezed. Pitch a diamond from dummy, as West pitches a diamond. Final spade. West has to succumb to the pressure. They pitch a club, I throw a diamond, take the diamond hook. West pitches a diamond, I throw a club. Diamond to the queen, 11 tricks claimed. But this is not how I played the hand, because I was now playing for content, which is much more fun. So, let's step back. First 2 tricks all went about the same. Queen of hearts, I won the king. Played back a heart. Spade to the king. Spade to the 9. And I ruffed a heart. Now, of course, I saw the double squeeze, and it was kind of automatic. I mean, there would be no work. I would take 11 tricks. But I had a different line for exactly 10 tricks that was way cooler. And also, I've never pulled off a squeeze like this in real life. I might have had it, but either messed it up or I forget, like the defense countered me or something like that. So I found a super cool squeeze that takes 1 fewer trick, but it's imps. I mean, 1 of over tricks actually mattered, right? So here's what I did. I played the ace of diamonds and roughed a diamond back to hand. Well, I can't take the diamond finesse anymore. And it's almost like I can take 2 club finesses, right? That the 10 and 9 of clubs are big spot cards. But I don't have any entries. If I lead the 10 of clubs, West will just cover, I win. But when I rough a diamond back to hand, East has the master trump, and they'll eventually score the heart ace. So I can't do that. But look at what happens to West's hand as I pull the last 2 trumps. West pitches a club, as do I from the dummy. And then on the last trump, West gets squeezed in a weird way. If they pitch another club, I can throw diamond, and all of dummy's clubs run. If West pitches the king of diamonds, obviously the queen's good, so West can pitch the 10 of diamonds, but now I throw diamond. And now the last part of the plan, which I really needed West to cooperate with, I led the 5 of clubs, not the 10 out of hand. I led the 5 of clubs, and West, being such a great citizen, put in the jack. So I played the ace, and we're all set up. So now I just exit the queen of diamonds, and West has to give me a club finesse, right? Well, the unfortunate thing is the 10 of clubs is like kind of blocking the club suit. If I just play a diamond, West can win the king, but now West exits the 8 of clubs. I can take the hook, but now I'm stuck in my hand, being forced to win the 10. Instead, though, on the queen of diamonds, I pitched the 10 of clubs. So West won the king, they played back the club 8, and I was able to stick in the 9. King of clubs took the last trick, and we made 4 spades. Awesome. And you know what's even better? The over trick didn't matter, because our teammates at the other table defended 6 spades doubled on the north-south cards. Declare played it several tricks worse, and ended up going for 800. So we won 16 on this board. You bet I got some grief for that declare play. Well, I'll tell you what didn't happen. Partner didn't congratulate me on a nice line of play. Partner didn't congratulate me for making the contract. Yeah, it was, I don't think he, like, yelled at me. Or maybe he did, but I just didn't hear it. Or I tuned it out. Anyway, kind of cool. This is known as a jettison squeeze. Because... Or it's a type of jettison squeeze. I'm not exactly sure what the normal jettison squeeze looks like. But I had to discard a blocking card on a different card to allow for the squeeze to operate, which is kind of cool. So now I can check that one off the bucket list. I have a jettison squeeze. No congratulations for the... Oh, well, partner complained because he was like, well, they were in a lot of trouble in 4 clubs. Didn't you know that? I'm like, dude, yes, I'm well aware when I saw the dummy that they had made a huge mistake in the auction. Like, I thought West was like 6-6 in the minors, you know? How else could you open 3-0, both minors weak, unfavorable, or vulnerable, I mean? But obviously West was under a different impression. And now that we didn't punish them because all of our doubles are takeout, they're not going to learn their lesson, and they're going to keep making bids like this. How bad was it? Hold on. Can we, rewind? Like, I never actually thought about how bad 4 clubs doubled would have been. Also, why did East bid 4 clubs instead of 4 diamonds? Who knows? No one knows. I don't get the 4 club bid at all. But here we are. They have 2 diamonds, 3 clubs, a spade, and a heart. At least. So that's 1,100 off the top. We could get a diamond rough as well for 1,400. You think 4 clubs doubled would have transferred to 4 diamonds doubled? Yeah, probably. 4 diamonds doubled might be about the same. We can get 2 clubs and a club rough, 2 diamonds, a spade and a heart. I don't know. It would be a massacre, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so that was a fun hand. That's probably my favorite hand of the weekend, I think. What happened here? Ah, yes. Okay, one of our big premiere matchups where Ron and I played against Kevin and Cecilia. It was good to play against them. They are definitely a formidable and strong partnership. I mean, I have a lot of individual respect for both of them, but I had never played against them playing together. I guess, like, in the past, Kevin had a different wife at the time, and so I had played against him with his previous wife a little bit, and I'd played with him and against him many times. But yeah, I had only played against Cecilia once, and that would have been like 20 years ago at this point. So it was good to see them, and this was a hand that we played against them. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. If you like me getting reamed for my declare play, this is it. So partner opens a heart. Again, it's like Ron decides he wants to open these hands. But this isn't what we had discussed. We had discussed like a more sound opening style, 15 to 17 no trumps except when we're non-vulnerable. And, you know, whatever. But so like this to me probably wouldn't have been an opening bid in my book if I was the second seat. But for Ron, he decides to open a heart. I bid 2 clubs. He bids 2 hearts, not promising extra hearts. So I jump to 3 now, showing my extra values, 15 to 17 or so. We get a third best 7 of diamonds lead. You think you know what's coming here? No. It's nope. You don't. But I know what you're thinking. It's not about the heart suit. So this opening lead could have been King 10-7, 10-8-7, you know, whatever. So I played the 9 of diamonds at trick 1, got covered by the 10, I won the queen. And now I'm pretty sure I can't make it from here. I'm going to take a quick look at what Gibb says. Yeah, so Gibb confirms my suspicion based on, you know, this layout of the cards, which is that I can't make it. But obviously I didn't know that at the table. My plan was basically just to take 2 heart hooks, as everyone's plan would be. So I ran the Queen of Hearts to the King. Kevin accurately played back a diamond, knock out Dummy's Ace of Diamonds entry. So diamond went around to the ace. I played a club to the jack. Cecilia did really well on this trick. She ducked. It's not necessary. Like, it's not strictly necessary. I'm going to bring up Gibb just to confirm, because this hand is actually very complicated how you play. So, like, she could get away with winning the club ace here and still beat the contract, but ducking is a great play. Cut communication to my own hand as well. Took another hard hook, it lost. Kevin played back a club. So it went queen, ace. Cecilia realized there was no rush in cashing the diamond king, so she just played back a club. Pitched my diamond loser. Tried to sneak a spade through, but she was on top of it. Flew king of spades, king of diamonds, 8 tricks. So I go down, we compare on this board. Teammates let 3 no trump make. And like teammates come back to the table and they're just like, God, we're so sorry. This was like not great defense from us. But Declare took a really nice line of play and made it hard, right? And I'm just like, oh, that's cool, whatever. So now Ron goes, well, why did you play the 9 of diamonds at trick 1? You definitely should just play low, right? And, you know, we'll take a look at Gib for just a second. Gib says that if I play anything other than the 9 of diamonds at trick 1, I can make this. And I'm like, well, it's far more likely that the 10 of diamonds is on my left, right? And Ron's like, well, why does that matter? I mean, like, you could, if you just play low and East like plays the 6 or something, you could win, and then when they get in with the King of Hearts, your 9 of diamonds will stop the suit. Well, we can kind of simulate that a little bit, right? Because the problem was not ultimately that West was running the diamond suit, right? West only set up 1 diamond. And similarly, if I play a low diamond, and it goes low queen, and East gets back in, and returns the 10 of diamonds, and it goes low, low ace, sure, I could force out the King of diamonds with the 9 and Jack and set up an extra diamond trick, but I just don't have the communication to score enough tricks on this hand. So it really is just about like trying to take 3 diamond tricks immediately without losing a trick in total in diamonds. That's the main concern. And therefore, given that West is leading from length, far more likely that West has the diamond 10 than East, even if we guarantee that West has the diamond king, which is not 100%. And I will note that a very strong declarer at the other table, Shan Wong, took the exact same line of play as me. He played the 9 of diamonds at trick 1. He won with the queen. He ran the Queen of Hearts. East won. A diamond came back to the ace. He then played a club to the jack. At our teammates' table, they didn't tell me exactly what happened defensively. I think West won the ace of clubs immediately, which doesn't really cost, but it does make the defense a little bit harder. And eventually our teammates ended up letting 3 no trump through. But, I mean, like, I took the same line of play as, like, a really strong declarer. Pretty sure that this is the right line. Anyway, so I got scolded pretty badly for the 9 of diamonds play, but it's a tough hand. I mean, I would be curious to know what other people think, but I'm pretty sure 9 at trick 1 is correct, and then just double hook the hearts. You know, maybe there's a method of getting to 9 tricks without working on the hearts. We appear to almost have enough cards. 3 clubs, 2 diamonds, a heart, and 2 spades is 8. And then any extra trick would be a 9th. But playing on hearts makes the most sense to me. Okay, next hand. Ooh, yeah. So this was another thing I noticed throughout the weekend, which was, again, somewhat difficult for me to adapt to. Definitely the best part of my bidding is slam bidding, and it seemed to be the worst part of Partner's bidding was his slam bidding. He had pretty good judgment in all other situations, like superb judgment, but slam bidding, he just seemed to have no idea what was going on any hand. And I don't know if that's because he plays different types of slam conventions or if his partners have different bidding judgment. But here was an example. 2 passes go around to 3 diamonds. I made a takeout double with the south hand. 4 diamonds by West. Pass, pass. I reopen double again. Takeout for us, right? Partner bids 4 hearts and it comes back to me. And I think I would like to bid 5 diamonds here if that was discussed. But I thought that the most unambiguous way to make a slam try in hearts was to bid 5 hearts. I was a little bit worried that 5 diamonds might sound like I have 3 hearts, and ask partner to look for clubs or spades or something else instead, which is not what I really wanted to convey. Of course, if 5 diamonds shows an unambiguous slam try in hearts with diamond shortness, then that's what I have. But, well, we can't just bid 6 hearts. I mean, partner showed nothing and partner could easily have nothing. Like, imagine if partner has 4 small hearts and out. We could be down in 5 hearts. Very possible. But I think that it's a little bit too much to sacrifice to not go at least investigate a slam here. For what it's worth, the other table had the same auction and they bid 6 hearts with my cards, which, I mean, I've polled a couple of people. It's very clear that 6 hearts is wrong. In fact, a lot of people like passing 4 hearts with my hand. I think that's a little bit too cowardly, but it could be right. But, you know, I mean, like 5 hearts looks like a pretty reasonable bid. Partner probably just didn't really respect that I'm telling him I think we can make 11 tricks opposite nothing. He has a 5th heart. He has a couple of honors. Nothing wasted in diamonds. He has a roughing value in clubs. So he lets 5 hearts go. He played the hand really well. After the ace of diamonds lead, he ruffed. And at trick 2, this might not be obvious to a lot of people, but for Ron, he played this relatively quickly, so this was really nice. He led the queen of hearts. And this kind of gives him control of the hand. If the opponent's duck, then he can cash the heart ace, and then go about his business trying to ruff the club suit good, while roughing a diamond in the south hand. As they did when West won the king of hearts. West decided to tap dummy with the diamond. He pulled another trump. Ace of clubs, king of clubs, club ruff, pulled the last trump, and now he can cross to the spade ace, ruff the clubs good, and dummy is high. So he made 12 tricks, but we were not in the slam. At the other table, they were in the slam, but they didn't find the right line of play, so they went down. I didn't ask about the line of play, so I don't know exactly how it happened, but I'm pretty sure this was the layout of the cards. So either way, our teammates ended up defeating 6 hearts, and we did win a nice swing on the board, but it could have been a little bit better if we had gotten to the slam. So kind of an instructive hand. You know, I think a lot of less experienced players do just bid 6 hearts with these types of hands, and they're just like, well, I have so much stuff, and we found our fit, therefore I'm bidding slam. But assuming your partner doesn't pass 5 hearts with a hand like this, you should be making a try. All right, next hand. Ooh, yeah, this one. We have another example of how our slam betting is a little bit off. So I pick up this nice 20 count, 4 triple 3, but otherwise no jacks, lots of aces and kings. I open 2 now. Partner bids 3 spades, some sort of minor suit hand. East doubles. I decided to pass. I could have just bid 4 diamonds immediately, but I kind of wanted to get a little bit more information about what was going on. Like if I also wasn't convinced that partner couldn't have a single suited minor hand. So if it had gone double pass 4 clubs, I probably would have assumed partner had a single suited hand with clubs and treated that accordingly. I mean, I have a great hand for any sort of minor suit thing that partner has, so I just wanted to give him some room. 4 diamonds I felt like was a little bit constricting in space. Partner bid 3 no, so I bid 4 diamonds. Partner bid 4 hearts, key card, and diamonds, or at least I think. we didn't have a discussion about this auction afterwards. I mean, we were like not on the same page on anything, so it felt like Ron just didn't want to have discussions about hands and work on partnership or system or anything. He was just like ready to complain about anything that went wrong. So I showed 4 key cards. Partner bid 5 clubs, which I didn't really understand, and this made me think that we weren't exactly on the same page, but I felt like 6 clubs was safe. If we were still on the same page, I'm clearly making a Grand Slam try, showing club stuff, which hopefully would be helpful. And if we weren't on the same page, I mean, hopefully partner didn't pass 6 clubs, but I do have king, queen, third. Partner passed, so I was a little bit confused about this whole auction. Obviously, we should just be in 7 diamonds here. We can ruff a heart and claim, pitching a heart and a spade on the 5 clubs. So I don't really know where the wheels came off. Maybe partner just intended 4 hearts as a Q bid. I thought 4 diamonds was setting trumps, and we do play kickback. But Ron said that he didn't play kickback with anyone else, so maybe he's not familiar with a lot of kickback auctions. It is a convention that you and your partner should probably discuss about like how frequently it comes up, so that when you have undiscussed situations like this, you'll both be on the same page about whether 4 hearts is key card or a Q bid. My opinion is that generally you want to be able to try and set trumps below a game force, and then kickback will apply. So unfortunately here we can't do that. Everyone else says no kickback. I think kickback's good, but like, I mean, why would it matter, right? So like, let's say partner bid 4 no trump instead over 4 diamonds. Shouldn't that be key card? Like, why does it matter whether it's 4 hearts or 4 no? Anyway. So that was a hand. We should have won a bunch of imps on that one, but unfortunately we did not. Ah yes, last one from the Saturday Swiss. This was a fun one, and maybe somewhat instructive on dealing with, mistakes by the opposition. So partner in first seed opens a 14 to 16 no trump. East bids 2 diamonds, which gets alerted as diamonds and spades. Okay. West bids 3 spades. East bids 4 diamonds. West bids 4 spades. Pass, pass. Okay, I'm good. So, like, obviously I know they're going down and I could double, but then maybe they wake up and bid 5 diamonds. I have no idea. I haven't spent a lot of time analyzing, like, the ethical possibilities of this.
Bod Rob Bo Bob Banana Fana Fo Fob Me My Mo Mod Woo Rob.
Greg, thanks so much for the 20 months. Resub. Appreciate all the support. Welcome back to the lounge. And yes, banana fana faux fob. I agree. So what actually happens ethically if I double 4 spades? Text-to-speech needs an upgrade. I don't know how to get good text-to-speech things. I spent a while browsing for the one that I have. Roab? Yeah, Roab. That's me. Does it have an American accent? I'm not sure. If only I had some sort of computer degree. Like computer engineering? You're right. Maybe I should go back to school and get a computer engineering degree. Then I could learn about how computers work. Wait, so what happens if I double four spades? If West pulls, that's fine, right? West is allowed to pull. Yeah, West is totally allowed to pull to 5 diamonds. I don't know if he would. I have no idea what East would be allowed to do. Like, if East bids 5 diamonds over a double of 4 spades... I don't know. Thoughts? Is that allowed or is that not allowed? Eric says that East can run to diamonds. East doesn't have any unauthorized information. Maybe, yeah, maybe that's a good point. Well, yeah, I mean, East has the unauthorized information that West has alerted this as showing diamonds and spades. Yeah, it's no screens. So I suppose if I wanted to gamble on West not running, then I could have doubled 4 spades. I don't know. It's probably safer to just pass and collect whatever we got. Which was... Well, partner led the Queen of Clubs. So that went King, low, low. Club went to the ace, and declare rough to club, and I over-ruffed. I started trying to pull trumps, so I led a spade. This went to partner's ace. And how many tricks do we get from here if partner defends double dummy? I mean, it's not like partner knows what's going on, but my spade switch, I think, should clearly indicate that I have long spades. Like, why am I trying to pull trumps if declare has a bunch of spades? I think I would be playing hearts or something. I'm not sure. Well, we beat at 5. I'm curious what Gib thinks. Is there a way to get more? Gib says yes. We should be able to get the 6. Okay, well, partner continued ace of hearts and a heart to the jack and king. Declare played on diamonds, partner ducked, won the second round, cashed the jack of clubs, but now partner's end played into giving declare an extra spade trick. So partner played a heart, I roughed low, declare over roughed, and I claim the rest. King, queen, 10. How do we beat at 6? I'm actually curious, and I don't think I see the answer. I mean, partner can certainly cash the jack of clubs, and I can pitch a heart. But, oh! Wait. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I see it. I see it. So jack of clubs, I pitch a heart. I actually wasn't certain if I was going to pitch a heart or a diamond. But the point being that declare now doesn't get their heart trick, And you might think, oh, well, they'll just get an extra diamond trick. But because North has a spade, if Declare tries to cash 2 rounds of diamonds, or score the 3rd round of diamonds when I play a 3rd diamond through, North will be able to ruff. And otherwise, if they ruff in, then they kind of squash their spade trick with that 3rd round of diamonds. So before, they were able to get a diamond, a heart, and a spade from here. Now all they're going to be able to get is a diamond and either a 2nd diamond or a spade. They never score their heart. Interesting. I don't know if I would have worked that out at the table. I was not that focused because I knew that we were just getting 100 a trick and that this was going to be a nice result anyway. But yeah, so I mean something like Ace of Hearts, Heart Ruff, Diamond, Diamond, and now Declares kind of in this pickle where if they try and cash a 3rd diamond, partner ruffs with the 2 of spades, they only have 3 tricks in. They're going to get 1 more, but that's it. That would be down 6. And if they like try and lead the Queen of Hearts, I can ruff in high. And now I play a diamond and they get end played into giving me the King 10 of spades. So that would be down 6. Anyway, we beat at 5. What was the result at the other table? I think East-West played a diamond part score. So I think our teammates were in like 2 or 3 diamonds or something and they made it. Or went down 1 or something like that. So we ended up winning like 9 imps. Thereabouts. So that concludes Saturday. We ended up finishing 2nd. We lost to the Millens team, Kevin and Cecilia's squad, and the margin of our loss against them was like the entirety of the difference in VPs between our 2 places. So, you know, had we beaten them or been very close or like tied them, then we would have effectively been tied in the thing overall. Sunday Swiss was all about slams. Fortunately, so here was another example. The first 2 of these, I think I was playing with Ron still, and these were both against Kevin and Cecilia as well. But because of the way the team kind of got set up, someone had to go home for Sunday, and therefore we ended up playing 5-handed. So we ended up rotating, myself, Ron, and Oren Kriegel, who's one of Ron's regular partners and is about to start up his new law job in Chicago, I think, doing some litigation. He's a pretty fun guy, also engaged, so congrats to him on all of that. He's moving ahead in life, which is good. But yeah, so I got to play with Oren a little bit, and our sets were much better than the ones that I was bringing back with Ron. So this was one of the matches, or from an early match that we had against the Millens team. Once again, we sat against Kevin and Cecilia, and I was south. Partner opened a heart, I bid a spade. Partner bid a no trump, I bid 2 diamonds, artificial game force. Partner bid 2 spades, 3 card support. I bid 3 spades, confirming trumps. Really important to do when you're trying to investigate slams. And Ron makes, I think, probably his worst bid of the entire weekend, which was 4 spades. 2 key cards, a side king, like a pretty good heart suit, Queen of Hearts, 10 of Hearts. Like, you've already limited your hand by the 1 no trump rebid. Don't be like Gibb and just count high card points. Certain hands are much more suitable for slams than others. This hand has roughing value in diamonds. I mean, like, the whole hand is screaming, like, I have controls and I want to start Q-bidding. So, it's probably not quite good enough to make a serious slam try, but just bidding 3 no non-serious would convey the message. So he bid 4 spades, and I went into like a 3-minute tank and eventually came up with a bunch of hands that if trump split badly, we could go down at the 5 level. I'm specifically thinking of hands where like West is sitting on king 10 9 4th of spades, or just king 10 4th even in the spade suit. We have 2 trump losers, and we could be off the ace of clubs, we could be we could be off like a ruff or something. So anyway, I thought for a while. I eventually passed 4 spades, figuring that I just didn't have 5-level safety opposite a lot of partners' minimums, and that most of the time we just weren't going to be in a good slam. Like, if I bid keycard and partner shows 2 without, I'm still not really in great shape slam-wise, right? At best, we're going to be on a diamond finesse, because partner can't really have 2 keycards and the diamond king, otherwise they would at least make some sort of positive noise. So we miss out on a slam. At the other table, Shan Wong, playing with a sponsor, had the auction a heart, a spade, a no trump, 6 diamonds. All pass. And so that's where he played. So, sometimes it's helpful to just blast, but it's a lot different if you're playing on a sponsored team. Who was the sponsor? North or Set? Yeah, good question. No, North. North was the sponsor. Shan and I had been sitting in the same seat the entire tournament. So, like when you're playing with a sponsor, especially a weak sponsor, and especially because a lot of sponsors are afraid of like bidding slams, you don't want to like get into long involved auctions because your partner might just pass at some point. Like figuring that they've bid their hand out, they get very flustered. So keeping the auction short and sweet is, good in terms of trying to win, but also like helpful for partners' morale, because they don't want to like bid 7 times and now we're at the 3 level and they're like, I still have the same 12 count that I opened. What more do you want from me? I'm passing your next bid no matter what. So yeah, I've definitely done that playing with sponsors before. Not the greatest bridge, but it does work out. So the next one was not for us, but this was a problem that Kevin and Cecilia had. And I think I have their auction down. I don't exactly recall, but there's a lot of artificiality going on. A heart was normal. West's 1 no was game forcing. Artificial. 2 clubs was something. 2 diamonds was like asking. 2 hearts showed like a weak no trump with exactly 5 hearts, I think. 3 hearts by West, again, similar style bid from Cecilia, of she wants to just confirm the fit immediately and then go fishing for slam. Kevin decides his hand is just not good enough for making even a non-serious try, bids 4 hearts, all pass. Again, I might have some of the things wrong. I feel like Cecilia had a little bit more, so maybe Kevin had a 10 count. Queen of Hearts was in dummy. That might make a little bit more sense, based on what happened at the table. But Cecilia, because I don't think she would be concerned with a balance 16 about missing a slam, so I feel like the Queen of Hearts might be in dummy, but anyway, this is how I drew the hand up. So she thought for a long time and eventually passed 4 hearts, similar to what I did on the previous board. I led a diamond, declare 1, pulled trumps. Yeah, actually now I'm very convinced the Queen of Hearts was in dummy, so Kevin must have opened a 10 count. leads the 9 of diamonds. Oh, I definitely didn't play the 8. I definitely played the 10, and this is not the right spot card. I definitely played the 10. My diamond discard marks the 5-card diamond suit, so had I lazily played the 8 here, Kevin absolutely would have run the 9. So diamond to the queen. Now he led a club, trying to pick up the club suit to the queen and king. And I think I made a pretty lazy play here. I should definitely switch to spades. But I just continue to diamond. Yeah, switching to spades is kind of clear and automatic. But when I played back a diamond, now Kevin was able to kind of safely take a club finesse for his 12th trick. If I had played back a spade, he would have been a lot more cautious about taking that club hook, because I could win and cash a spade, and he would end up with just 10 tricks. Not a huge deal, it's imps, but at match points or board a match, this would be a much bigger mistake. So, a couple slams missed back to back. We did lose to them once again, because our slam was vulnerable, I think, on the previous board, if I remember. Yeah. And then there were a couple of other like over tricks here and there that swung on a couple of deals. But very last set, so we came into the last match, we were leading by a little bit, and we had had a very excellent set up to this point. I was playing with Oren at this time. So I was south, I opened a spade. We hadn't discussed opening bid style, so I just reverted to what I like to do and hoped that partner could field it most of the time. So I opened a spade. Partner game forced with 2 hearts. I would love to bid 4 diamonds with this hand type, but undiscussed, I was a little bit nervous. I think it's probably correct to play your splinters or minimum slam suitable hands, which is exactly what I have. But I didn't want to bid 4 diamonds and have partner think that I had like a 16 count, the same hand with the club ace or the same hand with the heart king. And then he bids key card, he finds out we don't have enough, he signs off at the 5 level, and then it goes ace king clubs club rough, right? And we just go down. So I liked 3 hearts in an undiscussed partnership to just kind of set trumps once again, allow partner to start q-bidding, which he did, 4 clubs, I bid 4 diamonds. He bid key card. I showed my 1, he bid 6 hearts. And the play was kind of straightforward. Diamond opening lead, club return, pull trumps, rough the diamond, run hearts just in case there's a black suit squeeze. Both opponents had pitched enough spades, so partner was able to claim pretty early in the play. So 12 tricks. This was a push at both tables, but it was a necessary push. If we had not reached 6 hearts on this hand, then I think we would have lost the last match and ended up not winning. But instead, we scored 8 plus scores at our table to like win the match by 5 imps or something. It looked like a great set until our teammates came back with their card. I mean, I think we made a couple of no-play contracts, but our teammates kind of duplicated the defense at the other table. So ultimately it was enough. We held on to our lead and won the final Swiss.